Luke 15:11-32 is a popular story that we call the parable of the prodigal son. By calling the parable of the prodigal son, it kind of hid away the secret in that parable. Because the emphasis now is on the prodigal son and his prodigal ways. Two children of the same father, the younger came to his father and said, "Father, give me my inheritance." And his father did not complain. Some of you thought that the father complained. No. Asking for his inheritance was not wrong. But the Bible says after he got the inheritance, after a few days, he took off and left his father, went away to a far country, finished everything his father gave him. The Bible says he spent it in a riotous living. And by the time everything finished, suffering started. The Bible says a famine broke out. He began to suffer, began to feed pigs, even eat the food of pigs to survive. The Bible says one day he came to himself and told himself, even servants in my father's house, they don't suffer like this. I didn't want to go home before, but now that I am now living below the level of a servant, common sense instructs me that it is better I go back to my father. And when I get to him, I will tell him, "Father, I'm sorry. I know I don't deserve to be your son anymore. Just take me as one of your servants. I have sinned against heaven and against you. Take me as one of your servants." Then, of course, he did as he said, came back home, and the Bible says his father saw him afar off. And the Bible says his father ran to meet him. I'll just say this. I try my best to be a very good boy to my father, a good child. But even as a good child, my father has never walked to welcome me. I mean, not run, walked. Maybe I came home to visit. He has never walked to come and welcome me from the gate. Now, this boy was coming home. Hey, this boy is a boy that abandoned his parents, abandoned his father, went away to live the way he likes. This son was coming back home. His father saw him afar off. There was no reason for the father to run to him. There was no reason for the father to go and walk to him. He is coming home now. Let him come. I'm waiting for him. But that parable was very, very meticulous to describe that when his father saw him afar off, he ran. There is no other parable in the Bible that describes the love of a father more than this parable. This parable could have been called the parable of a loving father. This is not your regular father. Some of you are fathers and you know. A child that is fully grown decides that I want to leave you alone. Took his inheritance and took off. This son returns home and you ran to him. That is the love of the father. And one of the secrets of this kingdom that Jesus emphasized again and again, that you must understand that number one, God is your father. Jesus was killed because of this truth. He died because he consistently called God his father. They couldn't believe it. I did my research. Jesus referred to God as father about 270 times in the Gospels. And only about 30 or 35 times he referred to him as God. Can you imagine? When he calls him God once, he would have called him father 9 times. They couldn't believe it. And some of us, we are in the New Testament, under the New Covenant, and all you know about him is the fearful God, is the consuming fire. Now, all of these things are true, but in this kingdom, you must understand that the king is not only the King of Kings. Understand that King of Kings is your father. He's on your side. He loves you. Not only is he your father, he is an exceptional loving father. The kind of father that runs to a lost child. Jesus said, the best father is he considered an evil father. Say, if you being evil know how to treat your children in so way, how much more do you believe father?